So class, welcome to the lecture number 26 of the course, Power System Operation and Control. So as I told you in the previous lecture that I am starting lecture number 5th. I started lecture number 5th in the previous lecture. So in this lecture I will again continue with the lecture number 5th, because this is a short lecture consisting of only two theoretical classes. Okay. So let us go to the next topic of this lecture, unit number 5, and the topic is SCADA, SCADA. So I already told you in the previous lecture that this SCADA stands for Supervisory Control and Data Acquisition System. So there is a specific definition of this SCADA which is given by IEEE. IEEE, it is the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, because this SCADA, it is basically automation of the power industry. Okay, and this automation of the power industry, so there is no technical or specific definition of SCADA, but these IEEE fellows, they have given a definition of SCADA, and the definition states that it is the collection of equipment. Okay, means it is a collection of equipment that will provide an operator at a remote location with enough information to determine the status of a particular piece of an equipment or entire substation. Okay, what does this mean? It is saying that means that we have some sets of equipments, okay, and that these equipments will provide us the information at a remote location. At a remote location means, suppose I am sitting at my home, okay, and I can check what is happening in the field, means what is happening in the power hose or in a distribution system or in a transmission system somewhere which is suppose 200 kilometers away. Okay, so I am sitting at a remote location which is my home, and I can get information about a location which is around 200 kilometers away from my home. Okay, that is why a word is used here, a remote location. Okay, means a operator at a remote location is getting enough information, means full information, enough information to determine the status of the particular piece of equipment or entire substation. Okay, so suppose I am the operator, I am sitting at my home, and I am getting enough information about the enough information about the power system, so that with this information I can determine, okay, this particular unit or this particular plant or this particular generator or this particular equipment, okay, I can determine the status of that particular generator or plant or equipment or transmission line. Okay, so equipment, in this equipment, it or entire substation, it includes all. Okay, so once I will get enough information about the this power system, so I will process that information, and then I can take corrective action if there is anything which is bad for the power system. Means if I will say the line loading limit exceeds or the voltage limit exceeds, then I can take stable corrective action. Okay. So that I can avoid the contingencies. Okay, so the definition states collection of equipments that will provide an operator at remote location with enough information to determine the status of a particular piece of equipment or entire substation. Okay, once we have determined the status of the particular piece of equipment or substation or power system, then we can take suitable control regarding the network or equipment and cause action to take place regarding the network or equipment. Okay, so as I told you, collection of equipments, okay, that will provide operator at remote location with enough information. So this information, this word has some significance. So this information, it refers to a system. It refers to a system that collects data from various sensors. Sensors are nothing but measuring devices, like your ammeter, voltmeter, wattmeter, current transformer, status of circuit breaker, if the circuit breaker is on or off. So these are all sensors. Okay, so I'm saying this information, how you are getting information, means this It refers to a system that collects data from various sensors in a network and then sends this data to a central computer, which then manages the data and executes the control. Okay, means I am saying I am a operator and I am sitting at my home. I am getting all the information or all the data from various sensors that are installed in the power system. Okay, now this data which I receive from the field, what I will do, this data goes to my central computer. Okay, so I am using that central computer, and this whole data comes into the central computer memory, and then this central computer, it will process this data, and once this central computer will process this data, and it will give me this processing will help me in executing the control. Okay, so next I am saying that SCADA systems are used in control are used to control SCADA systems are used to control electric power generation, transmission and distribution. Means it can be implemented at generation level, transmission level or distribution level. Look, I'm saying SCADA is nothing but automation of the power industry. So you can automate your generation system, you can automate your transmission system, and you can automate your distribution system as well. Okay, so it achieves this requirement by collecting reliable data through RTUs and presenting them to user requirement. Okay, which I already explained, that data that is reliable data is obtained from the field with the help of RTUs, and this RTU, it sends this data to the central computer. Okay, and this data is displaced on the computer for user requirements. Okay, so the user interface, one thing is there which is called as man machine interface. So my computer screen, it is a man machine interface, because this computer screen, all the information or about the power system, it is displaced on the this computer screen. So I will see, okay, what is the problem in the system, and stably I will accordingly I will press few keys on this computer to execute the control. So that is called human machine interface. I am saying the user interface or human machine interface, it provides various options of data presentation according to specific application and user needs. Okay, so next is a SCADA system usually includes signal hardware, controller networks, user interface, communication equipment and software. Means it uses software as well as all these hardware devices. Okay, so this SCADA system has two important parts. One is called RTU, remote terminal unit, and second is master control unit. What is master control unit? Master control unit, why is the term master used and control? Master control unit means this is a control unit, master control units, this is a master, and this RTU is its slave. So this RTU is a slave to this master. So whatever information RTU gets, it sends that information to its master. This is called as master control unit, and this master after processing the data that is received from the RTU, it implements the control and it sends the control signal to the RTU. That is why this RTU is called as the slave of this master control unit. Okay, and how this RTU and master control unit, how they can be connected together? Okay, they can be connected in 4 different configurations or 4 different schemes, depending upon the requirement of the system and the available number of communication channels. Means how many communication channels are available to available, based on that we can control RTU to the master control unit in 4 different schemes. So what are the schemes? The first scheme is that one RTU, one master scheme. Okay, one RTU, one master scheme, which is also called as one-to-one SCADA system. So what we have one master control unit and we have one remote terminal unit. So this remote terminal unit, it is controlled only by this master unit. Okay, and this master unit, it controls only this particular RTU. So means for each RTU, for every RTU we have one master control unit. Okay, so if for every RTU I have one master unit, so suppose I am saying I have 10 RTUs, then I will have 10 master control units. So it makes the system, it increases the number of master control units, because we can say that one master control unit, it can control number of RTUs. So that is why this scheme is not generally preferred, okay, because too many number of master control units are to be used. Then comes the star or hub SCADA system. So this star or hub SCADA system means we have one master control unit and we can have 4 or more, okay, 4 or more than 4 remote terminal units. Okay, you see here you have only one communication channel, but you can see here we have 4 communication channels, 1, 2, 3, 4. Means each communication channel is dedicated. Suppose I am saying this is communication channel 1, this is communication channel 2, this is communication channel 3, and this is communication channel 4. So you can see from the diagram, this communication channel 1, it is dedicated to communicate, to provide a communication link between remote terminal unit first and master control unit. Similarly, this communication channel 2, it is dedicated to communicate between remote terminal 2 and master control unit M. Similarly, we have 3 and 4, means 4 channels, 4 master 4 RTUs. Okay, so if you will see here, the number of master control units that are required, it reduces, okay, significantly. Suppose in case if I want to control 4 RTUs, I need 4 master control unit, but here I have shown a case where one master control unit, it can control 4 RTUs. Okay, we can have more than 4 RTUs as well, okay, depending upon the communication channels, how many communication channels are available. So next is party line SCADA system. Party means we have only one communication channel and different RTUs are party of this communication channel. Means same communication channel is used by different RTUs. So suppose I am showing here 4 RTUs. So all these RTUs, they are controlled by the same master unit, single master control unit, but they are using the same communication channel. Though it is, as if you can see, it is more appealing as compared to this one. But the problem here is it is less reliable. Why? Why I am saying it is more appealing? Because here we have only one communication channel. We have one communication channel, one master unit and 4 RTUs. Here also we have one master unit and 4 RTUs, but here we are using 4 communication channels. However, in this case we are using only one communication channel. But the disadvantage is that it is less reliable, because in case there is a problem in a communication channel, okay, so all the 4 RTUs, their operation will be affected. Okay, suppose here at this point I have a problem, operation of all the RTUs, it will be affected. However, if in this case reliability is more, suppose I am saying that I have a problem in this communication channel, this master control unit, it can still control 4 RTUs, remaining 3 RTUs. However, if at this point we have a problem, if in the communication channel anywhere we have a problem or trouble, all the RTUs means they will face they will not be controlled by this master control unit. So here reliability is more and here reliability is minimum. Okay, so next is fourth. So what we are doing, we will use a system, try to use a system where we can have an advantage of this and this both. Okay, where we can have an advantage of star or hub SCADA system and party line SCADA system. Okay, so that's why we have one more scheme here, which is called a mixed SCADA system. Mixed SCADA system, it has characteristics of both star or hub SCADA system and party line SCADA system, and the diagram looks like this. Suppose I am saying I have 4 communication channels and I have 8 RTUs. Okay, so if you will see RTU 1 and 2, they are party line SCADA system. अगर यही दो देखूँ मैं, if I am looking at these two only, so they are party line SCADA system. Similarly, 3 and 4, they are party line SCADA system because they both are using the same communication channel. 5 and 6, they are also party line SCADA system, and 7 and 8, they are also party line SCADA system. Okay. However, combination of R1 and R2, R3 and R4, R5 and R6, and R7 and R8 means combination of this, combination of this, combination of this, and combination of this, R7 and R8, they are together star connected. You can use because they all are using their dedicated communication channels. Okay, so here we have an advantage of both party line SCADA system and star or hub SCADA system. Suppose I am saying if there is a problem in this communication channel, still this master control unit, it can control remaining 6 RTUs. Okay, so I am saying this mixed or star configuration, it is more reliable as compared to the party line SCADA system. Okay, party line SCADA system, it has one advantage that single communication channel was used, but reliability at the sake of reliability. However, in this case, reliability is increased. Okay, so next is the components of SCADA system. So what are the important components of SCADA system? So basically it has 4 important components. What we do in SCADA system, we collect information, and for collecting information we need sensors. Okay, so if there are not sensors, we will not able to measure any quantity. So first important thing is sensors. Then the second is RTU. What RTUs do? Basically RTUs are small computerized units, and they are displaced at located at different locations in a power system. At different locations means important locations in a power system. Okay, so means this RTUs, it is like means in one area it is collecting information of one area, one RTU, another RTU is collecting information from other area. So means they are act as the collection center for collecting information of their respective areas. Okay, so that's why I am saying it serves as a local collection point for gathering information from sensors and delivering commands to the control relays. So you should add one more line, one more thing here. Here you should write like it serves as a local collection point for gathering information from sensors, okay, in their own area, in their own or at their own location, and delivering commands to the control relays. So this is RTU. But how RTU sends this information from field to the master control unit? It sends it through the communication network or communication channel. So SCADA connects master station to RTU. So how many communication networks can be there? We can use PLCC, power line carrier communication. We can use Modbus, Profibus, and microwave communication. So these are the different communication networks that a SCADA system uses. Okay. So last and the most important part, it is SCADA master units, which finally executes, means where system is processed, okay, and control is implemented. Okay, so basically this SCADA master unit, these are the large computer consoles that serve as the central processor for the SCADA system, means it is the heart of the SCADA system, master control unit. Okay, so this master control unit, it provides human machine interface, right here, human machine interface to a system, and automatically regulate the managed system in response to the sensor inputs, means information that is which is obtained from the sensors. Based on that information, automatic control is implemented. Okay, so and this SCADA master unit, it is the heart of the system, means all the operations that are all the operations on the RTU are made through this master control unit. By how? By these 4 methods. All the operations on the RTU, they are made by this master control unit. Okay, so now suppose that we are saying we have one master control unit here, one master control here also one. So what happens, we are saying here that because of the single communication channel, the reliability reduces, and this drawback is overcome in this type of configuration. So because I am saying the reliability which was at stake because of the communication channel, single communication channel in party line, it has been, that drawback has been removed by this mixed SCADA system, because we have multiple communication channel here. Okay, but what if there is some problem in the master control unit? Okay, if there is some problem in the master control unit, again the reliability of the whole system it is at stake. So what we do, instead of single master unit, we will use one more backup master unit, and that master unit will operate only when the main master unit will not function. Okay, so backup is important. So backup master units are provided to ensure continuous operation on the RTUs due to the failure of the main master unit. Okay, so what this master unit does, it collects information, it processes information and executes the control. But it, whatever information it collects, that information is stored in the system database. Okay, and it is not like all the information is randomly stored. Means sequence of recording is there. Sequence of recording means the what happened at, suppose I start at 6 p.m. I means at 6 p.m. I started recording. So what happens at 6 p.m. it is recorded. What will happen at 6 p.m. And 1 minute it will be recorded. Means sequence of event is recording. It is not randomly any event is recording, but sequence of event recording goes on. Okay, so the details, not only that system is stored in the system database, information is stored in the system database, but also the printout is taken. Means with the help of printer we take the printout of the information, and that information which is now available on the paper, it is stored in a permanent record room. Okay, and it is that information so that in future if we need some data, we can again check our records, printed records, and from there we can means retrieve that data. Okay, so so this is a typical link between RTU and the master unit is shown in the block diagram below. Here we have a RTU and here we have a master. Sorry, yes, master. So what we do, any quantity we want to measure, okay, that is measured, and it is with the help of transducer, it is converted into a signal which is stable for transmission. Okay, but before transmission, what we do, that signal is converted, which was analog signal. What are analog signals? Like we have watt meter reading, we have current, we have voltage reading, we have frequency reading. They are all analog data. So that data is converted, analog data is converted into digital data. Okay, and this digital data is transmitted with the help of steam transmitter over the communication link. Okay, so on the other side, at the receiving end, we have a receiver. That receiver receives that information and it gives that information to the master control unit. Now again, that information which goes to the master control unit, it is in digital form. Now it is again converted back into analog form and it is displayed on the screen. Okay, so that is what it is written here. An analog signal proportional to the electrical quantities like voltage, current and watt VRs are converted to digital signals for transmission to the master system. The communication link between the master unit and the RTUs can be done using telephonic links, PLCC, fiber optics and microwave channel. So these are the different communication links that can be used. So next is the application of SCADA to power system. So this SCADA, it mainly performs 4 different functions. Number 1 is automatic generation control. Automatic generation control means in automatic generation control means we want that the control of the generator, it should be efficient. Okay, by using SCADA. Okay, what type of control we want? We want the frequency should be constant. Okay, and the power that is flowing in the line, it should be as per the agreemented contract, and the economic dispatch is also the important thing. Okay, so they are the cost effective functions. Okay, like frequency control, control of line, power and economic dispatch, they are the cost effective functions, and these functions are receiving much wider acceptance these days. Okay, so next is security monitoring. Okay, so you know that SCADA, it provides information to check the line loading limit in a power system. Okay, and decide whether, and with the help of this line loading, we will decide if our system is operating in safe mode or it is operating in the emergency mode. Then we will see if the system is if it is operating in the safe mode, then it is okay, we will continue to operate it like that. But if the system is operating in the emergency state, what will happen? This SCADA system will send an alarm signal to the operator that okay, your system is now in the emergency state, so take the appropriate corrective steps so that your system is again restored to the normal state. Okay, that's why I am writing here, in case of an emergency state, it sends an alarm to the operator to take appropriate corrective steps and restore system normalcy. Okay, the third is state estimation. So state estimation is nothing but determining the values of the voltage and frequency. Okay, so SCADA data helps in calculation of security of the system. Okay, it helps in the calculation of the security of the system and the probability of the system failure or probability of the system going to the emergency state during outage of a certain line or equipment. Means we are saying if there is some outage or outage of an equipment in the system, so what will be the probability of the system of going into the emergency state? Okay, it is done with the help of security analysis and it is done by SCADA, with the help of SCADA. So these calculations can then be used to explore corrective strategies. Means okay, once we have decided okay, will the system go into emergency state or not after an outage? If it will go into the emergency stage after an outage, what corrective actions should be taken? Okay, so that the system will again come back to its normal state. Okay, and last important topic is online load flow. Okay, online load flow. Online load flow means how much power is flowing in the line, because a line has a certain capacity to transmit power. If the power that is flowing in the line, it crosses that capacity, then we say that the line is overloaded. And if the line is overloaded, there are chances that we have to take off the line from the circuit. It automatically happens. Okay, so that is why we are saying SCADA measurements also include normal operations on the power system, which keep the operator informed in regard to the loading of the line. So loading at various stations and substations and the calculation of penalty factor for economic late dispatch, it is done with the help of this SCADA. Means penalty factor, I have told you the penalty factor in case of losses, there are losses in the system. Okay, so this is that penalty factor. Okay, so that was all for this. This was a small topic, SCADA system. That was all about this lecture number 26, and with this lecture I am finishing this unit number 5. But I am giving you one homework, and your homework is that you will study what is load dispatch center, what is load dispatch center, one, and second, preventive control, preventive and corrective. Preventive and corrective control. So this is your assignment. Oh, sorry, assignment, not this is your homework. But these, make sure, definitely one of the thing will be coming in the paper. So this is your homework. So with this I am finishing unit number 5. Hopefully in the next class I will again move back to unit number 4, because it will take me 3 days, 3 more lectures to finish unit number 4. Thank you very much.